The Dialogue.
Hello, welcome everybody to the sixth episode of Tech for Good podcast. Yes, that's the right millennial term for it. And today I have a really special guest again, and he's closely associated with the dialogue also. He's a senior advisor with us, Dr. Avik Sarkar, Avikda, or popularly known within our circles. Avikda, welcome to the show and great talking to you today. How are things in Hyderabad? Sorry, Mohali.
Yes, going good. Always nice to talk to you, Kazim. It's going great. I am based in the Mohali campus, but currently I'm in Delhi. So under home lockdown for the last 1 month. Going fine. I think in our world, work is much more focused now because there is not that unnecessary travel and all those activities which take up a lot of time. Like
Right.
I have to spend 2 days just for a 2-hour meeting. I think those sort of activities are now gone. Now, even
Right.
because we work a lot with governments, and government meetings are mostly in-person meeting because they are quite used to in-person calling people for in-person meetings. So
Hmm.
the other like corporates and other worlds have always used technology, but government has been doing that, and we work given that I'm in the public policy department of Indian
Right.
we work with a lot of government. So like either with Telangana government, Maharashtra government, then something with Madhya Pradesh, then Assam.
Hmm.
Some of the ongoing engagements that are happening now. So, and if you know, like from Chandigarh, going there, traveling, and then coming back. So if it's just a meeting on one
Hmm.
day, you have to go a day before and then come back the day after. So you lose 3 days
Hmm.
between. So now I think all that is gone because I think even government is very proactive and they have come on the online platforms, and we are having
Right.
a lot of our discussions
Right.
with
Right.
government entities.
No, that's great. So, you've been a data scientist, Avigda. In fact, you've been awarded as one of the leading data scientists in the country. You were in Singapore. You had a really cushy job, high-paying job, but then you left that. And I think when you joined Niti Aayog, I think you took a significant pay cut when you were working with Niti Aayog. And I think for all the audience also to know that Avigda was the OSD in the data and data tech division of Niti Aayog. So you worked there for 3 years and you did a lot of work around technology. That's when we also met.
Mhm.
And now you're teaching a professor at ISB. And I really like what you've done with your background. It appears that you are in Mohali, but you're not. So, that's the real use
Yes,
of tech. So you're a living example of how to really integrate and internalize technology in our life. So really cool
yes,
background. I think that's the first time. Even I haven't tried that. Although people now know how my room looks like. But
yes,
nevertheless, so yeah, so I just sort of take it forward. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. And today I want to focus on the role of technology primarily. And you've been a
yes.
big data scientist. You know how this works. You know the power of data and you know the power of big data to drive development. And the focus for Tech for Good is to understand how technology can really help us in sort of smoothing the lockdown effectiveness and also to sort of emerge a stronger nation in terms of the post-lockdown scenario we are looking at. We need significant economic responses. We need huge policy changes, and tech is going to play a major role. So, Avik, I would just like to start with you in terms of where do you see technology playing a role right now and also in the future now that we are facing the greatest crisis mankind has seen in this?
Yes. So I think yeah, when you look at technology, particularly, you have to look at like two sectors of jobs. One is like the white collar jobs, and another is a blue collar jobs, or some are jobs where you need to go house to house and deliver services. Maybe this can be services like say salon service or a plumbing service or a carpentry service, and those sort of things. I think there has been very little impact of the work other than on the customer end. The customers are slowing down investments for sure because of the uncertainty. But then doing work, if you're looking at the blue collar jobs and primarily the services sector, which involves technology like IT and all, I think work is going on a lot like usual. If you're looking at doing some sort of data analytics or some process automation, you can always sit in a room and bring all the people there and start discussing everything and solve a problem. A lot of the organizations are utilizing this time to look at issues, what might have gone wrong, how they can improve their processes and things of that nature. As I told you, like usually for a 2-hour meeting, I tend to spend about 3 days for the travel. Now that all that unnecessary travel is cut down,
Mhm.
we'll have a lot more
So
time.
there is a positive side to this lockdown. There is some
There
sort
is
of
a positive side, yes, but I think that the percentage of people affected is very less. I'll give you one example. A friend of mine, he recently in Delhi, the winter getting over and summer coming back, people are starting to use their air conditioner. And air conditioners usually during the winters they are not used for a long time, so they might not have been used for the last 6 months. And it's very general. I think you also do in your house. When the first time we switch it on in summer, we do a servicing.
Mm.
This friend of mine couldn't do a servicing, and he switched on his air conditioner, which was I think from LG. It was not working. There were some issues. This was actually a blue collar job, but I was impressed to hear about his story and the level of innovation what they have done. They actually did a step by step hand holding of my friend over video conferencing to help him repair some of the problems, which was
Nice.
yes, for a lot of the low-lying problems where you just open up certain. So actually, he opened up his AC. He has never done before.
Nice.
Opening up an AC and.
By the way, I've been facing similar issues, so probably after the call I'll sort of have a look at that tutorial.
No, it was a one-to-one session given. So he called the service center of LG, and LG registered the request, and the engineer came on call and then spend I think 1 to 2 hours with the person to solve the issue. So I think people have to innovate because we are in difficult situation. If you think that BAU, like business as usual, will go on, I think that's not going to work. And you will see a lot of businesses will be in distress, and those businesses who are not thinking about innovating in this current time will be in distress, because you cannot, after people like spending say 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, I don't know how that duration will be at home and seeing a complete lockdown situation, life will not go back to the normal what it was before. There will be a shift. Even like work from home might become the norm in a lot of the organizations, where they understand that if you have an employee who is responsible to do the work, maybe out of 5 days he can only come to office 2 or 3 days a week, and rest of the days he can work from home. Also helps in saving a lot of the travel time. It's good for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
We need to import less amount of oil.
Absolutely. And also pollution. I think it's sort of, you just look at their quality is far better in Delhi than it. That's great. So I think the point I'm trying to get to is in all of this, how important is technology's role? Is it like a fundamental role? And where do you think it will sort of push towards? What are the new tools and innovation we can expect in the coming term?
So technology, a lot of the technology is there. It's up to you to come and use it. I think that is what is novel. Like say a killer technology in these days, like we have not made so much advances. Like my kids are having now classes through video conference. Right. What they're missing is that they're missing possibly physical teacher. When you have an AR VR system, like augmented reality and virtual reality system, that you can have a model of a teacher. You just wear a hologram glass and you can see your teacher in front of you, as the teacher would have taught on the whiteboard or blackboard in school. So you have to do those investment, and you have to do those investment, and you have to do those investment not because of these 3 months. Then that investment will not be a viable investment. It has to be an investment because that has to be your organization's way forward. More technology and less other stuff. So I think otherwise, if you have to say invest in a hologram sort of technology, augmented reality technology, it is expensive technology that you will go back to the same model, and it will maybe, if this situation goes on for 6 months, you're going to use it for 6 months. Then it's not a right use. If you think going forward, maybe the school hours are shortened and you can go and can have some classes online from home. I think in that case, I think this sort of technology is really very helpful.